Welcome, Jack. Thanks so much for taking some time out to come and have a chat to us about our Bay to Bay race that's coming up. We're getting pretty excited because we're on the countdown now. And are you getting excited?
Oh, of course. My favourite time of year. I pencil it in.
Excellent. And well, firstly, we'll tell the viewers that you've won this race 4 times, 3 times in a row, which is just an amazing feat in the 12K, and once in the half marathon. So at the moment, the 12's looking like a better distance for you. Which is your favourite?
I actually prefer the half distance, but I'm usually travelling to the Gold Coast to run a half marathon or a marathon in July. So
seems to be a bit of a trend, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So doing the 12K is the perfect opportunity for a tune-up run in the lead up to those races.
Yeah, sure. And so in terms of the race, when did you find out about it? Because you're a relative newcomer to the coast. How long have you been here?
So I've actually lived up on the coast for 4 years now. In terms of when I first did it and I won the half marathon, my parents had just moved up here, sea change, and
nice.
Retired. So I was up visiting them, and I just happened to see that there was a race on, so I got involved.
Oh, really?
And,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I was totally surprised to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, when you say totally surprised, that's interesting, because I've got some statistics here on you, and to tell a few of the viewers, you started quite a long time ago, back at Hunters Hill High School. Is that right?
Yeah, I went to St. Joseph's.
Yeah, in Hunters Hill.
Yeah.
And did you get? Were you part of the track team or they have
a
cross country team?
I was part of the cross country team and the track team as well. I struggled to make the track team to start with, but then once I became eligible to be able to do the 3,000 meters,
it started to be your distance.
The longer the
that
distance,
sounds like
the
a familiar story.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was at university, they asked me to join the track team, and I said, "What's the longest distance?" And they said 800 meters. I said, "Give me a call when you get to 5K."
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying there, and that's obvious in some of your results, because you've got some spectacular results. And first of all, congratulations for being in an Australian team. We saw you run in the World Championships in the marathon in 2017. Was that your highlight of your career so far?
Oh yeah, by far the biggest highlight. I've always wanted to represent Australia
and you were the first Australian home that day.
Yes, I was. So
even doubly exciting.
And I came 45th as well, so it's pretty funny.
Top
with
50.
F45.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So
F45, for viewers, Jack has a gym which is part of the F45 chain, and that definitely helps keep you fit and in shape, I imagine.
Yeah, it does. It definitely keeps me on my toes.
And I imagine some of your clients too, because they would really look up to you and your achievements, and you run a pretty sort of tight ship with, follow my lead.
Yeah, kind of lead by example, and just trying to promote healthy lifestyle and trying to do things to help people just be more healthier and happier.
Yeah, and I noticed too that wasn't your career to start off with, because you degreed in commerce.
Yeah,
and that's a bit more sedentary than running a 45 gym.
Yeah. Well, I used to work in finance, but I found the job and the industry quite constraining on what I was trying to do as an elite athlete. So I made the decision to move away from that industry to focus on running and to focus on health, in the attempt of making an Australian team. And but I really enjoy that sort of stuff, and I hope to get back into that industry one day.
Well, certainly at the moment, when you own your own business, because you've just been overseas, you obviously got it sorted out so you can get away and do some racing. So congratulations on that, because I know that's a bit tough to get somebody to IC while you're away. But tell us a little bit about your trip. This year you've had 2 overseas competitions, one in Japan.
Yeah.
And how far was that one?
Yeah, so I just went recently, raced in Japan, did a half marathon. I'm just transitioning back from injury, so that was my first sort of major race from that. So
we talked about the name Gifu.
Yes,
Gifu in Japan.
Gifu. So it was about 2 hours by train from Osaka.
Nice.
So beautiful little town and greatly run race.
And the Japanese are incredible hosts. I've heard it from people that have travelled there before.
They love running.
Yeah.
It's their national sport.
And you're quite an idol for them, being an elite runner, aren't you? I mean, they treat you like royalty, don't they?
They tend to note your build and everything like that when going through customs, and you usually get the question as well, especially wearing ASICS kit, like that's a Japanese brand. So they're always very excited when a runner comes in their midst, which I imagine that's what an AFL football player feels like, or an NRL football player. So
no, that's fantastic. We really appreciate all the years where a lot of our runners have been able to go to Japan. My sister went to Fukuoka. We've had a long history of running a team relay over there at the Iketon Relays.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's still on or if you, but I believe that would be a great thing to be involved in.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get involved in a team to do that. Australia used to send a team to the International Chiba Iketon, but I don't
hasn't been on lately.
Well, I don't think they do that anymore.
We'll write a few letters for you.
That's fine. I'm not sure if I'd make the team though. Not fast enough over 10K.
Well, I think you're fairly young in the sport from the look of things, and I think you've got a great potential and career ahead of you still. So 2016 was really when you started, getting into the elite ranks, wasn't it?
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, read...
except for winning local races.
Yeah,
no. He's elite for doing that.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, I spent a bit of time on the track doing steeplechase and stuff like that.
Did you run against Martin Dent?
No, I never ran against
we've had
him
an interview
in
with,
the steeple.
And of course he was pretty good at the steeplechase.
Yeah, he's pretty handy over that. And I did all right from an Australian sort of standard, but in terms of my absolute time in international rankings, it kind of wasn't at that sort of level. So around that 2016 mark was when I kind of progressed to longer distances, and it seems to be working well for me.
I think your first national title might have been at the Aussie Uni Games.
Yeah, I guess that would be my only national title.
Your only national title. Well, there'll be more of those to come.
Watch and that was a steeplechase.
That was steeple?
Yeah.
3K?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, well the Uni Games is a pretty tough arena, so congratulations on that. And then so you've just got back off the plane from San Diego, your second race overseas this year. So did you choose that one for a particular reason?
Yeah, so from Japan I went to Flagstaff for an altitude training camp with some of my Team Tempo teammates.
How high is Flagstaff?
So it is 7,000 feet, which is about 2,000 to 2,200 meters above sea level. Yep. So first time doing a big altitude camp like that, and it was a lot of fun. It's still
pretty cold there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was actually snowing.
Yeah.
which was nice the first time, but then it started getting a little bit sort of annoying. But got some really good training done there, and then the race in San Diego, which was a half marathon. Just
bit of a contrast. Was it hot in San Diego?
No, it wasn't actually. It was actually really good conditions. So
that was
we got a bit lucky.
Part of the rock and roll
marathon. So that was a gold label half marathon. It got won in about 60 minutes. So
wow,
it was a real high quality race.
And I think you came in around 65, which is close to your PB.
Yeah, not far. About a minute off my PB.
If you ran 65 next weekend, I think make people stand up and take notice.
Yeah, maybe, but I won't be running the half.
No, that's true. We just said that. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll change your mind by the end of the interview. We'll pump you up.
Yeah.
So look, it's wonderful to have you here on the coast and inspire a lot of the younger runners and the older ones as well. But it's a lot about where do you see? Are you getting enough competition on the coast? Are you happy to base here? Do you think that's feasible to be an international class runner living on the coast?
It definitely has its challenges, but I do really enjoy being up here. The lifestyle, the people, the Adcock Park and the terrains where I can train.
And the synthetic track at Mingara.
Yeah, brand new synthetic track at Mingara. Like, I'm not a big fan of the track sessions. I always kind of groan when my coach gives me one, but it is definitely an opportunity to run fast.
Who is your coach?
My coach is based in Adelaide. His name's Adam Didick. So he operates a big group called Team Tempo down there, and he coaches Olympic gold medalist Jared Talent, Jess Trengove, who's a a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist. And he's got a big squad of athletes down there. So I like to try to travel down there.
Sure.
When I can and do some training with a group. But being a marathon runner, you kind of get exposed to long stretches in a race where you are training by yourself. So it's it is good training for those sorts of situations by training by myself. But I'm also lucky to be able to have some support from some local runners. So Andy Land's a great contributor.
Andy Land won the event, the 12K last year.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to be too excited to see you stand
No,
next to him.
I don't think he is.
Is he think he's going to give you a bit of a run for your money?
Oh, he always does.
Yeah. He's a bit of a dark horse, Andy Land, and I know he'll be gunning for it. There won't be you'll shake hands before the race, and then it'll be gloves off, eh?
Yeah, gloves off during the race, and then shaking hands again at the end. He's a really good bloke, and I really like training with him when we can.
Oh, that's great. And there are some other runners. Mark Warren would be a worthy training partner.
Yeah, definitely
Mark down at the track?
Yeah, done a couple of sessions with Mark as well, which is really good. And there's other athletes around who I try to kind of run with when I can.
And of course, for us here, all the younger runners will be looking to be able to be fit enough to train with you. So that's the beautiful thing about having you here on the coast. And so we'll just go through a couple of your PBs, if you don't mind, Jack, because they're pretty amazing. So you had 3:55 for the 1500 in Sydney. Now, you said you don't like that distance, but that's a pretty handy time.
Yeah, I was really surprised when I did that time because I was never able to break 4 minutes when I was steepling, and I was actually training for that proper distance. I actually did that when I was more into half marathon training. So
wow.
It was really interesting, and I was happy to break that 4 minute barrier.
So you don't think you like it, but you think you could go faster than that?
No, not anymore.
That's a bit flat
I think I'm a bit old for that now.
Well,
never say never.
No, never say never. So going up the distance, you've got 3,000 metres at 8:14. So we're starting to get into the business end there. Did you get to? We've got a lot of state bronze and silver, national silver and bronze. Did you make the national 3K races at all, and how did you find those?
Well, the 3K is not a distance they run.
Oh, of course they do the 5.
They do the 5K. Yeah.
So so the 5K you've got 14:18, and that's really.
Is that right?
14:13.
Yeah, 14:13. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, sorry, I pinched 5 seconds off you there.
That's 5 big seconds right there. That was a good one as well.
That was a good race.
Again, heavy marathon sort of training sort of led to that.
So what was on at Glendale? Was that?
So that's 100 Track Classic. So
I've
done my 3,000 and 5,000 PBs on that track. So
it is a good track there, isn't it?
It's a great track and it's a great meet.
Yeah, and it's fantastic for us because it's so close, and I think it gives an opportunity. They open up a lot of the spaces to actually let the locals come in and have a race. So where did you have some good competition there? Did you win that one?
No, I came third. So again, it was a good race, deep field, and it just really worked for me. I was able to kind of push through. Like I was really happy with that race. That was a good one. That's
fantastic. And then, as you said, you start to warm up in the longer distances. So we've got 30:13 on the track for 10K. But we've got 29:45 for a road 10K.
Yeah.
I bet that was an exciting day.
Yeah, because I mean that was always one of my big goals, break the 30-minute sort of barrier. So I did that one in Launceston. So I was
and that's
really
a good
happy
course
that
down
day.
there at Launceston, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's a shame that the race has been cancelled.
Oh, it has now. Yeah. Was that the Cadbury's one?
No, that was Launceston 10. So
Launceston
it's usually
10.
held around the same time as the Beta Bay.
Right. Okay.
But unfortunately this year, due to financing problems, they weren't able to continue the race. But
okay, well, I'm sure we're going to get plenty of opportunities for you to crack a good 10. There's some great 10K courses in Sydney, and that would be great to see you sort of shine on those.
Yeah, I definitely think I can go quick over the 10K. That's one area which I'd like to improve my time in.
Yep. And I think as you become a more mature athlete, you start to be able to get your head around those distances. Sometimes it's almost a little bit lucky when you're younger to pop out a good one. And then as you get older, you start to get your pacing right and look for a good opportunity to have a good group that you're, maybe getting pulled through. And so, all the best with that. So through all these shorter distances, we've got the big one left, the marathon. And now, firstly, what's your favourite distance?
I'd say it's hard because, generally the thing you're best at is the one you like the most. And so I'd say the marathon's the event I'm best at. But it's an extremely hard event, and it's so taxing on the body. So I'd probably say half marathon is probably what I enjoy most, because you kind of
recover and go for another one. Yeah,
exactly. I can walk the next day, so that's a big plus.
Yes, that's one of the things I remember for the next 3 days after a marathon, not being able to walk.
For me, it's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's interesting. There are some people who seem to recover quick in that.
Yeah.
But I also think maybe they could run a bit faster than they did. That's why they're still able to walk. So what's your best recollection? I mean, obviously the fastest one might be, but have you run a few marathons now?
I've done 5 now, so I'm not sure if that's a few, or is that not?
No,
not,
5.
Yeah, I think
really
5's
getting
medium sort of number. So.
Yeah, and do you see yourself going further? I mean, we've got the Olympics coming up. Do you see? Have you got a chance to get into the team, do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the next big goal for me. I've always wanted to be an Olympian, so that's the event that I'm pushing selection for. Obviously the depth in the marathon is very strong at the moment, so it would be extremely difficult to do. But yeah, I'm just going to train as hard as I can and give it a shot, and if I make it, then great. If I don't, then I know that I gave
given
it
a good shot,
to do that. So
well, listen, we totally wish you the best in your training and hopefully your selection for that. And we know we've got a couple of Olympians on the coast. We'd love to add your name to the list. So keep yourself fit, and obviously that's another area that is a challenge as a distance runner, and I'm sure that your gym work would contribute to keeping you fit. Do you have a program of stretching that you?
Yeah, I do have a strength and conditioning program. I think it's very important, more for a injury prevention thing. And it involves heavy weights and heavy loads and small amounts of reps. So it's very different to running, which is essentially a lot of low resistance type work, but many repetitions.
High reps. So do you want to have a little spray for your gym and tell everybody to come over and train and what you've got on offer for them?
Yeah, come check us out, F45 Gosford, 45-minute high intensity workouts, and we have a 7-day free trial. So head to the website f45training.com.au/Gosford.
Excellent. And so we'll sign off, and thank you very much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure to have a chat, and it's always a pleasure to see you down at the new blue track. So we hope that you continue to come along there. And if you could like this interview and subscribe to our channel, we would really appreciate it. So do you want to wish the competitors all the best, Jack?
Yeah, just Bay to Bay next Sunday, 16th of June. So if you've been thinking about it, you can still enter. So come on down and join a great community run.
Perfect. Thanks.
No worries.
That was great.